Television, Channel 2, from Mecca al-Mukarramah. And as we do these days, these are special episodes only for Hajj, Umrah and Ziyarah, inquiries, questions, issues. Obviously, we are in the best days of the year, and therefore we need to cover this very special occasion with so much of the attachment to and being so much in connection with you as viewers throughout the whole world. And you know, seeing Mecca al-Mukarramah today is a very, very thrilling thing to see, because the number of pilgrims has increased so much, and the people who are probably in Medina are now moving into Mecca, getting ready, inshallah, to see tomorrow's and tomorrow in the in Al-Masjid al-Haram Friday, and then moving on Saturday to Mina, according to the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I did receive so many emails. There is a little technical problem we're trying to work on my own particular computer. This gets ready. I do remember some of the very important questions, because what I did is that since we talked last night, and there was some question earlier raised by someone from Sri Lanka, and then again Brother Ismail called from Sri Lanka, and some other brothers called earlier. They sent me some email. Today I received 3 emails from Sri Lanka, and what they were basically addressing is that there is a set-up committee called Hilal Committee, observing the crescent and trying to you know, decide the day. And since they did this year, as they do for Ramadan and Dhul Hijjah, they did sight the moon, because since there was no sighting of the mean on the 29th of Dhul Qa'dah you know, evening, and they completed Dhul Qa'dah 30 days according to the calendar they're following. And then to them, the beginning of Dhul Hijjah started actually on Sunday rather than on Saturday, and therefore Eid Day will be on Tuesday, the 9th of December. That's what I received, and somehow there was some discussion, you know, and everyone is trying to you know, defend his own position. The basic idea here, I'd like to advise my brothers in Sri Lanka and throughout the whole world to unite around the Quran and the Sunnah. This is the most important thing. Let us all unite. Let us all stand together. And if this is the case that is taking place, alhamdulillah, in the Jami Mosque in Colombo, in Sri Lanka, then alhamdulillah, this is exactly what we are after. And we need to be all together applying the principles of Islam. And obviously I know that the issue of sighting the moon has been a critical issue, and somehow people get carried away and enthusiastic about the issue, because it's been so much discussed in the Islamic fiqh for a long time. And we know we have 2 schools, the school of Ittihad al-Matali', where they think that if the moon or the crescent is seen somewhere, then obviously it should be incumbent upon everyone else throughout the Muslim world to fast or to begin Dhul Hijjah, and then of course counting for the 9th of Dhul Hijjah to stand on the plain of Arafat according to that sighting. Now if we're not following this particular school, and we follow Ikhtilaf al-Matali', where it might be seen somewhere and not being seen or observed somewhere else, then that would be acceptable as well. And that's why some people, when they also wrote me an email, they said, well, you were saying something in the beginning and then now you're saying something different. I was advising my brothers. I was advising my brothers and sisters throughout the world, actually, to go ahead and follow Saudi Arabia in order to avoid all this, because it is observed in Saudi Arabia. And if we take that position of Ittihad al-Matali', although this is not the opinion of the majority of scholars, but since, as I said, with the advancement of technology and everything being available, and we can see this through observatories and all of this, then it would be advisable to be again with pilgrims in Mecca, who are about 3 million people, and if you go beyond into to the Arab countries, they would depend on Saudi Arabia for Hajj in particular. And as I told you, even Darul Ifta in Egypt made the announcement that because we are dependent on Saudi Arabia in this, we go along with that. So this is very important. This is what I was after. However, if you choose to see inside the crescent yourself, in any particular Muslim country or community that is standing on its own and has its own, a system of verification, and they have a committee and a mufti and a qadi whom they can refer to, and these are well-versed scholars in Islam, then why not? I mean, that's another choice as well. So we do have both choices available to the Muslim communities throughout the world. But what I was asking, what I prefer, is that we unite around the pilgrimage and we go all together with that. This is what I was calling my brothers and sisters throughout the world, and that would include my dear brothers in Sri Lanka. I don't want to get into the midst of all the various schools of thought and orientations following this particular group or that particular group. We need to avoid that. We need to be united around the Quran and the Sunnah, and that's the basic and the cornerstone of our work. I do have a caller from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, brother, go ahead.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay. I said I am following doctor's explanation on the sighting of the month of Dhul-Hijjah.
Yes.
In Nigeria, they are suggesting that we should do our Eid on the 7th of December, while the Saudis are doing it on the 8th.
Yes.
So please, I need more clarification on that.
Now tell me, who has decided this in Nigeria?
The Council of Ulama.
The Council of Ulama in Nigeria. Is this based on the sighting of the moon? Did they see the crescent?
So they say. So they say.
Yeah? Hello?
So, yes, I'm hearing, Doctor. Go ahead.
Go ahead, tell me. How did they decide this?
I need, is it appropriate for one to do it before the Arafat day?
Yeah, but tell me, how did
That's my concern now.
Excuse me, how did they decide that Eid would fall on the 7th of December, I'm sorry, how?
The sighting of the moon.
The sighting, okay. Right, very good. Well, I think we need to make this clear. As I said many times, I know we're having a problem there in Sri Lanka, where Eid has been decided to be on the 9th of December. Now in Nigeria, Eid has been decided to be on the 7th of December, and now we here in Saudi Arabia and most of the Arab world is going to celebrate Eid on the 8th of December. Now obviously, if everyone has seen the crescent by the naked eye through some witnesses, and this has been verified by an Islamic judge, and if it is decided that way, then yes, they can fast based on this, even if it does not agree with the standing of on the plain of Arafat by the pilgrims, even if it falls on a different date. Okay, so I hope this will be clear. As long as you're doing this, fine. My preference, however, what I advise people to do, including the scholars, but they said they saw the crescent through some witnesses. I don't know if that has been true. How could it be different? It is possible that it would be different in different countries. That's